Welcome to Marketing Communications Lesson 2. Today's lesson will cover corporate image, brand management, and purchase behavior. As you can see from all these icons, we have Microsoft, Intel, Sony, Coca-Cola, the tick that belongs to Nike, the Playboy Bunny, Mercedes-Benz. All these you can see they are all brands in the market, or you can call them that they are corporate logos that represent a company. Okay. So why is this corporate image important to the company? So basically from the corporate image, we can see the tangible elements in terms of we can see the goods that are sold, in terms of the retail outlets that sells them, the manufacturer that makes them, the advertisement that comes with it, and the corporate logos and all the packaging. All these we can see in terms of the tangible element. Okay. In terms of the intangible element, you can see is basically, for example, the company policies concerning making the products, or the company policy for the firm itself, the ideals and the belief and the corporate culture behind the company. Okay. So what is the role of the corporate image? Basically, in terms of to give, from the consumer perspective, is to give the assurance of the quality of the product. From a business to a business perspective, is basically to gain competitive advantage against your competitor. From a company perspective, it's also it actually helps the company, it helps the consumer to maintain their loyalty to the product. Okay. So why is this corporate image important? Because at the end of the day, if the company is able to promote the desired corporate image, it will help to lead to an accurate reflection of what the firm can and can do. Okay, it basically reinforces the reputation of the firm. It will rejuvenate the image or the reputation of the firm, or it will create a new kind of image for the firm. Okay, and it also helps the firm to avoid negative press. So when we talk about the corporate image or the corporate name, basically there are four ways to design the corporate names. We can have the overt names, basically means in the name itself you can review what the company does. Or we can have implied name, basically means a recognizable name to convey what the company does. Or we can have conceptual name, basically to capture the essence of what the company offers. And we have the inco long classic names, whereby it's actually something unique, something memorable, that people can remember and people recognize. Okay. So from this picture, you can see that all these are corporate image. And these corporate images, like for example, you can see the Mercedes-Benz logo, you can see the BMW logos, you can see the Volkswagen. Okay, so all these corporate logos, basically you must have logo, make sure that it's easily recognizable, people are familiar with it, and basically it will elicit consensual meaning. Okay, basically by it will elicit your emotional attachment to these kind of logos. Okay, and you should also evoke positive feelings towards these kind of logos. Okay, next we'll cover in terms of branding. Okay, so what is branding? Branding actually provides the consumers with assurance, the quality assurance. You also reduce consumers in terms of their search time to look for a product. Okay, it also allows the company to charge more in terms of selling their product. Okay, it also reduces brand parity where consumers compares brand from one brand to another brand. Okay, and consumers that choose brands that are normally salient. Okay, choose brands that are salient, they are memorable, and they are noteworthy. So, developing strong brands. Okay, so when companies they spend a lot of money promoting their brand or developing their brand. What does it actually helps? Okay, because in the sense that by developing the brand, it actually compels benefits. Okay, it can also compels emotion that elicit from the brand, or it can have one word that best describe the brand itself. Okay, and it's important for consumers to purchase that brand. Why is it important for a consumer to purchase that kind of brand? Okay. The benefit from having a brand equity, the recognizable brand in the market, is basically you can charge higher prices, you can have higher gross margin, you can have distribution channel power in terms of distribution of product, you can have additional retail sales space, you can have reduced customer switching from one brand to another brand. Okay. So in order for a person or a company to build their brand equity, they need to research and analyze as in what makes a brand distinctive. They need to engage in continuous innovation. They need to be a fast mover, or if not, a leader in the market. They need to integrate the old and the new media, and they need to focus on market domination. Okay. So in branding itself, basically there are a few types of branding. Firstly, you can talk about family brands. We have Toyota family brand, where you have the Vios, we have the Camry, we have the Altis. Okay, all these are family brand and they are under the family brand of Toyota. Then when you talk about brand extension basically, for example, we use Nike. Nike is actually famous for making shoes, but in terms of branding, the extension brand of Nike is basically they have extended themselves to make clothes, make caps, make watches. Okay. On flanker brand basically means that let's say for example Unilever currently is in the shower gel, shampoo, facial wash. They're already in this market, and you can see that basically Unilever distribute a lot of their brands. For example, Lux brand, Eversoft, Dove. All of that comes under the manufacturer Unilever, and basically they are competing among themselves in the market. Okay, another one is co-branding. Co-branding is, for example, this example that you see Samsung Galaxy S2. Okay, basically Samsung is actually collaborating with DG to promote the Samsung Galaxy S2. This is called a co-branding. Okay, in terms of family brand, basically we can see Tesco. We can have Tesco noodle, Tesco rice, Tesco detergent, Tesco washing liquid. Everything that is under the family brand Tesco. Okay. In terms of packaging, basically in the market, the whole reason of packaging is basically to protect the product for ease of shipping, for easy placement, to prevent theft, to prevent tampering, and also to indicate the content of the product inside the package. So normally the most famous that I can tell you in terms of packaging is always the packaging of mooncakes. They all kinds in very nice packages, very nice boxes, or very nice tins, and these companies charge absorbent for their mooncake. A mooncake is very expensive in the market right now. Okay, partly because of the packaging that comes with it. Okay, every company that has a particular product, normally they will know how to position their product in the market. So some of the position strategies that you can see on the left side of the screen, you can position according to the attribute of the product, position according to what competitor has in the market, the use or application of the product, the price and quality of the product, the usage of the product, the product class or the cultural symbol of the product. Okay, so basically these are the strategies that the company can adopt when they position their product in the market. So basically in the market, we can have a consumer market, a B2B market, or to go into an international market. And normally when we promote the product in the market, basically there are two ways you can react to something that has happened in the market. Let's say for example, we hear about Dell computers when they have a battery explode on a Dell computer. So all this is damage has been done, so there must be a damage control strategy. Or we can have it in terms of proactive, or you can have it as reactive. In terms of proactive, we can talk about, for example, entitling. Basically means to claim responsibility for the outcome. For example, to become official sponsor for World Cup. Okay, next year we have this year we have Olympic Games, England 2012. So that is to go into advertising for Olympic Games. That is called entitlings. The second one is enhancement. Enhancement basically means an attempt to increase a desirable outcome of an event. For example, like McDonald's. We know that McDonald's causes obesity, but then McDonald's themselves, they will try to promote their burger in such a way to say that yes, we can give you the nutritional value of the McDonald's burger, and therefore it can justify it gives all this amount of proteins, it gives the amount of carbohydrate, and therefore it's actually a nutrition or healthy food. So that is called enhancement. That is a proactive way of trying to cover up or trying to protect the product. The reactive way strategies basically means something that has happened, and therefore we need to cover up, we need to do something to to continue to build the reputation of company. So strategies include, for example, you have internet intervention, crisis management program, apology, you need to apologize to the customers in the market. Okay, so all these are strategies to avoid conduct damage control. Okay, the second area we're covering is this thing called purchase behavior. So in terms of purchase behavior, basically there are a lot of factors that influence the consumer decision making behavior. For example, cultural behavior that concerns our culture, where we come from, who we are, actually influence what we buy or how we buy or how much we buy. Then we have the social influence, right? For example, your reference group, your family members, your people in your family will give you an opinion on what you should buy and what you should not buy. Or we have this thing called personal. For example, your age group, your occupation, your education background, your income background will also dictate what you buy and what you don't buy. Okay, your physiological behavior, for example, motivation, your perception, all of these will have an influence in terms of your consumer behavior purchase. Okay, so when the consumer make a decision, in terms there is a decision making process. So normally it start off with a need recognition. Let's say for example, you're walking down the road and you're on holiday and you're walking down the street and suddenly you felt thirsty. So basically means you are aware, you recognize that there's a thirst and you need to quench your thirst, and therefore you look around. Information search basically means you look around to find whether is there a shop, or is there a vending machine, or is there a kiosk that can sell you drink. Then you look for, when you come for the shop, you find a shop, then you look at what are the alternatives they have, what are the drinks they have available, then you purchase. After you purchase, assuming that if the drink actually quench your thirst, then post-purchase behavior will be positive. That means to say that it justifies the purpose of buying the drink. Okay, but sometimes when it comes to purchase of other things, sometimes at the end of the day you may regret, you may feel that you have regretted buying the product, because at the end of the day it doesn't serve its purpose. Then you have a negative post-purchase behavior. Okay, then when you talk about in terms of alternative evaluation of alternative approach, in terms of how you approach the customer. Okay, so basically in terms of you have this thing called evoke set method, the multi-attribute method, and effect referral approach, whereby the evoke set method is basically, evoke set basically means you have a positive consideration to purchase. Inept set basically means you considered the negativity, but because of negativity you're not too keen to purchase. And the inert set basically means you're neither positive or you're negative towards the purchase of a product, means you're in the middle. The multi-attribute approach basically means that you evaluate the product based on its attribute and then you purchase based on attribute. The add referral basically means based on emotional connection. That means you say that you're a loyal customer of a particular brand and therefore you continue to use a particular brand. Normally for products like skincare or cosmetics, usually ladies always, they are loyal to a particular brand. Okay. So what are the trends in terms of influencing consumer purchase? For example, your gender, your individualism, your lifestyle, the change in your family units, your pleasure pursuits, or your health emphasis. All these will have a pattern in terms of your consumer purchase. Okay. However, when it comes to business buying behavior, it has a different kind of connotation, and basically there are a few members that make a decision for a company. For example, the users who are actually the end user of the product, the buyers who are responsible for the purchase, the influencers who shape the purchasing decision, the deciders, the one who authorize the purchase, and the gatekeeper to control the flow of information from one party to another party. Okay, so some of the factors that influence a business in terms of their buying centers, like for example, the personality, the roles, the motivational level, the level of power, the attitude towards risk, okay, the level of cognitive involvement, and the personal objective. All these affects the business buying behavior. Okay, so in terms of business buying, basically there are three types. One is a straight rebuy. That means you purchase something. Straight rebuy basically means you buy exactly what you buy the last time. Modified rebuy basically means you buy and then you have some modification, some changes to the items that you're purchasing. The new task basically means that it's you're purchasing and it's one whole list of new products that you're purchasing. Okay, same thing with the buying behavior, the business buying behavior and the consumer buying behavior. They go through a process. So we have this thing called the recognize and need recognition. Then from there you define the definition of the characteristic or the quantity of the product you wish to purchase. Then you develop specification on what the product specification is all about. Then you search for suppliers, and then from there you get a quotation from the supplier, and then after you evaluate the proposal, and then you select the supplier. So once you have selected a supplier, you place an order, and the order is being delivered. Then you look at the product, so whether is it satisfactory or not, or whether you're happy with the product. Then from there you do a performance evaluation, at the same time you feedback. Okay, that's all for lesson 2, and we'll see you again in lesson 3. Thank you.